Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual. You guys know the deal on this channel, man. We must continue to set the record straight, stop the lies, stop the narratives, stop them from rewriting the history, stop them from bending reality. This is what we must continue to do, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about LeBron James. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people doing these videos on LeBron James and what he said about, it's just basketball, right? He was talking about, oh, it's just basketball, blah, blah, blah. And I've seen some of everybody's videos, people's videos out there. And I wanted to just do a video talking about this and what it relates to what I've always been telling you guys about LeBron James, is that he's playing for the money and the fame. He's not playing for a love of the game. He's not, right? So when he talks about it's just basketball, this is what this relates to, guys. It relates to that mindset. LeBron James does not have a love of the game. He really never has loved the game. He's always loved what he gets from the game. We're going to talk about this video. And I want to thank you guys, man, as usual, man, for all the support, guys, for real. I am truly, truly humble, guys. Everyone across the world, everyone across the states, guys, for real. Thank you, man. You guys are just, like I said, you guys comment, you guys emailing me, man. Like I said, you guys sharing the information with me. Some of you guys hit me up on Instagram. Yo, just shout out to all you guys for real, man. I really appreciate all the support, man. It means a lot that you guys, like I said, feel that, you guys respect what I'm saying and stuff, for real. Because I know my channel ain't flashy and, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So, for real, shout out to all you guys. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, man, like I said, when I've seen a lot of these people's videos lately, man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's done videos on LeBron James, man. And, this, it's just basketball narrative that LeBron James said, and once again, I told you guys, when this guy speaks in these post-game press conferences, this man, I don't know who his PR people are, man, but this man needs to stop speaking. Stop tweeting or Xing, whatever the hell they call this stuff, man. Just stop it all. Stop it. All right? Get some help, like my man Michael Jordan would say, right? Because this man never says anything good. Never does. He tweets things or whatever and deletes them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so someone needs to get a hold of this man and tell him to stop talking the post-game press conference, man. Just plead the fifth or something. All right? Because when he says these things and he's talking about it's just basketball, I've seen some people talking about, oh, it was taken out of context and things of that nature. But it all goes back to the same thing that I've been telling you guys on this channel for a while now. It's about the mindset of LeBron James, right? We think about things like LeBron James having a no-trade clause in his contracts, and we think about something like Michael Jordan having a love of the game clause in his contract, which stated that he could play basketball whenever he wanted to outside of the NBA. He was able to do those things, a love of the game. The competitiveness of a Michael Jordan. This has never been LeBron James, because we think about LeBron James coming into the NBA as the chosen one, right? I told you he was driving around in a Hummer in high school, guys. That was not Michael Jordan. That was not a lot of guys, right? But LeBron James was the chosen one. He was receiving things from the game of basketball at an early age. So for him, he started to love the things he got from the game, what he got from the game as far as attention-wise, right? All of these things, right? They said he was the first high school player to have his games televised on ESPN. So when you think about that, that alters the mindset of LeBron James, right? Because I told you, man, he ain't got that background like that. So he wasn't raised right that right way, so to speak. So he doesn't know the ways. And through all these years, he's really never learned from his mistakes. But when we think about that mindset coming in, you getting all of these things, right? Coming into the NBA, you're the chosen one. You could do no wrong. LeBron James, I told you, has been protected by the NBA for years, guys. They rarely ever call fouls on LeBron James. We've highlighted these things. Look at the numbers. They're there. It's all there, guys. We talk about these things, right? They've always lifted up LeBron James. I mean, especially over the last, 10 years now. It's been ridiculous the amount of lift this man has gotten, the propping up of LeBron James and his era, despite at the cost of tearing down all the other eras. So when you think about this is what goes. So I always told you guys, LeBron James is playing simply for the money and the fame. That's all it's about for him. He does not care about the winning. It's irrelevant to him, right? The winning does not matter, because at the end of the day, what will happen? They will blame his teammates. They'll blame somebody else. So the winning, really, I told you, LeBron's in a win-win situation regardless. They can get swept in this series, and it won't matter. They'll blame D'Angelo Russell. They'll blame Anthony Davis. They'll blame Darvin Ham. They'll blame Austin Reeves. They'll blame Hachimura. All these guys will get blamed. LeBron James will receive no blame. They'll make it about his age and his numbers, right? And they'll talk about the regular season stuff and all of this nonsense. And LeBron James will take no blame. So the winning or the losing is irrelevant. He'll get credit either way. If they win, he gets all the credit. But when it loses or goes the other way, LeBron James is never at fault. Even though he'll be the one making the mistakes at the end of these games, he'll be the one missing wide open shots at the end of these games. No one ever points a finger at LeBron James. So, once again, the responsibilities, the accountability has never been on LeBron James, guys. And this is what I talk about on this channel, right? It's about holding these guys to the standard, holding them accountable. The other guys were held to these standards. Bill Russell was held to standards, right? Michael Jordan was held to a standard. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, right? The Hakeem Olajuwons, the Tim Duncans, the Kobe Bryants, all these guys, man. The great players, the Oscar Robertsons, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars. There was a standard that was upheld. George Mikan, Bob Pettit, the early guys back in the days, the Bob Cousy's. There was a standard there that you played with. You played the game with a certain integrity, right? So when we think about these things, man, and I talked to you about LeBron James and that he's out there just playing for the money because, once again, LeBron James, what does he seem to, once again, care other than what? Himself. Everything is about him. It's never been about the team, the players around him, making these guys better, so to speak. Like I said, getting them on the same page, right? Shouting them out, giving them their just dues. No, it's always about what he did. Reading off the stats. I'm the greatest player in the world. I'm averaging a triple-double. I'm this, I'm that. It's always me with LeBron James. He does not play with the love of the game. He plays for the money and he plays for the fame. This is LeBron James, guys. He's not like Michael Jordan and some of the other all-time greats that played with that love of the game. LeBron James, if you love the game, why would you be flopping so much? If you really love the game, why would you be load managing? You would be wanting to play. Like I said, these guys now look for reasons not to play instead of looking for every reason to play. So if they're banged up, they're feeling sore, maybe they're not feeling so good in their mind, they're a little stressed out, something's not going right at home, they're going to sit out the game. All right? They're going to sit it out, they're going to just chill out and do whatever. Hell, they'll even duck certain opponents. They don't want to play against this team or that team or this player or that player. This was going on in these guys. Meanwhile, when I was going up, like I told you, every time you turn the TV on, I knew those guys were going to be there. And those guys were definitely going to show up against the other true competitors, against the other great players of the era. You think when Michael Jordan was coming to town, these guys were going to duck out and load manage? No, they wanted to go out there and compete against the best. That's what it was about back in them days. Today, it's not really like that during the regular season anymore, which sets up to a bad postseason run when guys are missing games. Guys are load managing in the postseason. It's a joke right now. LeBron James does not play for love of the game, so he'll talk about, it's just basketball. It's just basketball. But meanwhile, what has basketball done for you in your life? It's made you a billionaire, right? LeBron James continues to sign max contracts, even though he'll only play half the game by standing around on defense, but he'll still demand the Lakers to pay him max money. This man hasn't played defense in years, but he still wants max money. That's not playing with the love of the game. That's playing for the money. You just want the money. You don't need all that money, LeBron James. Does LeBron James need that money? No, he doesn't. Everyone knows he doesn't need that money, but why are you asking for max money? Are you a max player? LeBron James not a max player. LeBron James ain't been a max player in years. Those are the facts. Because if you're only going to play half the game, you're going to stand around on defense, you're going to play 40, 45, 50 games. Look how many games LeBron James has played in LA. But yet this man's getting paid all of this money. But he's sitting out with sore feet and sore this and this hurt and that strain and all this nonsense. But then in the offseason, he'll talk about how much he does, all the money he spends on his body. Wait, if you're in that bad of shape, then you should be resting in the offseason. And then come out again and give me 70, 80 games. Because if you ain't doing that, what the hell are you doing in the offseason that you can't play 70, 80 games every single year? We should be marveling at your physicality, your great athleticism, right? And all your durability and longevity, but it's not there. It's fraudulent. We should be like, damn, how is LeBron James playing 80, 82 games every season for 19, 20 years? But you're not doing these things. You're playing 45, 50 games a season, standing around on defense. So there's nothing to marvel at. But instead, we're wondering why is everyone saying you have longevity or durability, but it's not factual. It's, once again, not the facts. You guys know the deal, man. It's not about the money and the fame, man. It should be about the love of the game. And for some of these guys, man, it's always been about the money, man. They want to be on social media. These guys want to be with the Kardashians, right? They want to be, one of those new reality stars. Everybody wants to be on a commercial, but no one wants to earn it to be on the commercial, man. Back in the day, man, to be on a commercial, you had to be good. You had to be somebody, right? You had to be consistent. These guys today, man, it's all about the money and it's all about the fame, man. LeBron James talking about is just basketball. It's part of the problem that a lot of people have with the attitude and the mindset of a lot of these guys in this era right now. But then they'll talk about the guys in the past eras who did not make the money that these guys are making today. But yet and still, these guys show up to work every single day. These guys played 80, 82 games. Like, people, they have put in, like, the 80, 82 game stuff. When we talk about these guys back in the day playing the entire seasons, right? Going through all these games, battling through the injuries, battling through the pains, the personal problems, the things that people say to them in the stands. All of this stuff that these guys use as excuses and crush today to not play, to not show up, even though they're getting paid all this money. And some of you idiot fans will be out there and be in my comment section and continue to make excuses. Oh, this guy had a surgery. This guy had this. This guy has this. Yo, all you're doing, they're getting paid, aren't they? They have time to make all these commercials, right? They have time to make all these commercials and do all these other things off the court, but these guys don't want to show up on the court. They want to get paid all this money, right? Get paid way more money than guys in the past, but then talk about these guys with plumbers and taxi cab drivers. They want to talk about these guys having to work side jobs. All that does is expose these guys today. Because all it does is highlight the guys from the 50s and the 60s who had to work side jobs. These blue-collar guys, like I said, who worked with their hands, that were grown men that supported their families, part-time playing basketball. I told you, guys like Paul Arizin, who was in the Korean War as a U.S. Marine. Are they going to call Paul Arizin a taxi cab driver or a plumber? No, he was a grown-ass man fighting for this country and also playing basketball. He lost 2 years of his career doing that. Guys like Elgin Baylor that was in the Army at the same time while he was playing, and many other players, man. But they'll just boil it down to they were plumbers and taxi cab drivers. No, these guys were playing the game of basketball for the love of the game, not for the money. There was no money in it. And they were the pioneers of that game. And then all these years later now, they want to say these guys were no good, even though those guys played the game of basketball the way that it was made to be played. Right? They weren't carrying the ball all over the place, traveling all up and down the court. No, the game was officiated, the game the way it was supposed to be. But now they didn't have any skills. If you officiate the game the way it's supposed to be officiated, the way it was back in them days, the guys today are not doing anything. They're doing nothing. These guys are allowed to take 3-4 steps now, carry the ball, and have the ball. Watch a slow motion video of NBA today. When you watch these guys dribble, these guys always have a pause and literally have the ball like this. Then go back and watch video of guys in the 50s and the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and even into the 90s, early 2000s. A lot of these guys, before it started to get real crazy with the handling, they had to dribble the ball like this. They had to do this. Maybe a little this. It was this. They weren't allowed to do all these crazy crossover moves, but they want to tear these guys down, right? Those guys played for the love of the game, all right? They were not getting paid the money. If you were not the superstar players, you did not get paid the big bucks like that. You had to earn your money out there. You had to have a role. I told you that's why they were specialists back in the day. Those guys got paid off of what their specialty was, what they brought to the table, whether they were defensive guys or rebounders, right? You think about some of these three-point specialists. This is what guys were brought in to do. You brought guys off the bench for that. You want a guy to come in with some firepower, to a guy to come in with and get some tough defense. That was the way it was played. These guys played for the love of the game. LeBron James out here, like I said, guys, playing for the money and playing for the fame. Except the reality is, he ain't got the fame like that. He's lost some of the fame. He's lost the shine, man. I told you, LeBron James will never be in my top 10. He's never been in my top 10. But a lot of people are starting to realize that he's not worthy of a top 10 spot. I've told you guys, he's not worthy of a top 10 spot. He may have the resume on paper to be top 10, but he's not worthy of a top 10. He's not. There's too many other great players in the history of the game that played the game the right way, that carried themselves with the integrity, with the class, with the honor, that played with the love of the game, that respected the game, that respected the fans. How many times LeBron James load managed and sat out a game when people were there to see him play? At the last minute, you see LeBron James late scratch to a game for no reason, no injury, no reason for LeBron James to be out, but he's just not there. This is the guy they want to compare to Michael Jordan, the guy that always played if he could. That was his mindset, to show up for the people who never saw him got to play. That was his mindset. But LeBron James, he'll just duck out on the game, load manage. It's all good for LeBron James. He'll walk around on the court. He'll cry and moan all game long. Who wants to watch this? But he wants the people to respect him. And that's why I say, I don't know who would respect LeBron James. His fans, to me, I said, oh, a joke. They're not real basketball fans. How could you not call this man out? Hold him to a standard. He's all about the money and the fame. And he's been like that. He never had a love of the game. I told you, because everything was given to him early on. He didn't have to earn it like that. He didn't have to. So when he had to earn it on the court, what happened? He had to form the super team. He bailed out. He pulled the parachute cord, man. He was looking for a soft place to land. He landed in Miami. Those are the facts, man. Those are the facts. He don't never want to earn it. Remember, they didn't even pick this man up at the airport. They left him at the airport as a rookie. God forbid they would have left LeBron James anywhere at the airport as a rookie in 2004. Come on, man. The chosen one. Driving around in the Hummer. It's all about the money. Check my stats. It's all about him. How can you respect this? How can you get behind LeBron James, man? I told you. LeBron James is an all-time great player, right? That's no doubt about it. We can't take away things that he's done on the court, man. He's an all-time great, but that's why we hold him to that standard. When you hold him to the standard, he exposes himself because he doesn't hold himself to that standard. This is why I tell you guys often on this channel, these things that he does should be beneath him. He should not be doing these things, but he goes down to those. He lowers himself. This is why I say they lower the standards and they lower the bar for LeBron James. And he seems to be okay with that. And that's been his problem throughout his entire career, man. And he ain't never played for the love of the game like that. Because if he did, his mindset, his approach to the game would have been much different. But for him to lollygag, like I said, walk off the court early, not showing any sportsmanship, not be a true competitor, joining the super teams, doing those kinds of things. Like I said, creating that, right? It wasn't a player empowerment. It was a player entitlement is what LeBron James gave us. The flopping guidelines, the load managing guidelines. This is LeBron James. That's not a love of the game. That does not speak to a love of the game. You guys know the deal, man. This dude is just basketball. Basketball's giving you a hell of a lot, man. You owe your entire life to basketball. But yet you won't retire. Not even to spend more time with your family. LeBron James won't retire. Billionaire. Gonna keep playing basketball. Standing around the court. Doing all this nonsense. Blaming everybody else still. Still never taking no response. 21 years of never taking accountability. 21 years of this. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.